to do a full tutorial, introduction to PPC. What is Amazon PPC and how can you utilize it? Okay, so that's the first steps. Before you start learning about PPC, how to do it, how to create campaigns, etc., you actually need to understand you need to understand what it is, basically. I say so. I'm going to walk through the 3 types of sponsored campaigns that you can actually set up, and then I'm going to explain in detail what they are. Okay, so without further ado, let's dive into the video. So number 1 is sponsored products. Okay, now this is the most common one. Okay, sponsored products. The next one you've got is sponsored brands. Okay, and the next one is sponsored displays. Okay, let's first of all show you some examples of what a sponsored product is. Let's dive in. So sponsored products are anything on this page that says sponsored. Okay, these little squares here. So these guys, when we type in bench cushion, for example, and guys, as a little sort of a bit of homework yourself, it'd probably be a good idea to type in a few keywords and see this for yourself. Okay, we're going to ignore the sponsored display up here, which we're going to talk about in a moment. The most key one to recognize here is the sponsored button here on the individual products, and these guys are actually paying top dollar to be up here, the first ones. But as you scroll through the page, you'll actually notice that these ones haven't got sponsored on them, so these are organically placed there. These are organically placed there. The bestseller rank doesn't have anything to do with PPC right now. They might have used it to get there, but it doesn't have anything to do with it. We've got a sponsored badge there, but that's actually something to do with the brand advertising, which I'll show you later because it comes with this video here. But if we scroll down, we can see none of these are sponsored here, as you can see. But what you're going to see is, as we get to the middle of the page, there's actually some more sponsored ones here. So these ones here, these guys here, are actually paying on the sponsored products right here. Okay, and as we actually click into some of these, we're not going to click into any of the sponsored ones because I don't want to eat up any of their budget. It's not really fair. But as we click into them, you also notice other places where you might actually see the sponsored badge there. Okay, let's scroll down to the bottom here, and what you'll notice on here is actually another sponsored sign here. So these guys are also using these ads right here in these sponsored products to actually be there. Okay, so we can scroll all along. Depending on the bid that they've put in there, they're going to show up here. Okay, same with these ones here. Okay, not the frequently bought together, that's organic there, depending if you've genuinely bought it together. And then you've got more sponsored down here, guys. Okay, there's more sponsored. Okay, so that's the most normal places where you're actually going to show up for the sponsored campaigns here that you create. But if we click back on that, okay, let's go back to the main page there. What you'll also notice is different areas of advertising, okay, like the top here and then the middle. So that's the sponsored brands here. Now the sponsored brands is actually people that have paid to sponsor not just products but actually their brand. As you can see, we've got logo here, we've got custom, we've got their text there, whatever they want right there. So these ones here are actually, you need to have a minimum of 3 products in your brand to actually be there. So as you can see, I think that looks a little bit out of place because they should have had another product right there. Okay, but as you can see, they've got 3 products minimum, which you would need to set up this campaign or this sponsored display. So the sponsored brands and the sponsored display, you will need 3 minimum. Okay, 3 products minimum, which they've got there, as you can see. And then we move on to a different one here. Okay, and by the way, these sponsored brands, you'll also find them on some product pages as well. And then we move on to sponsored display. And the sponsored display is actually when you scroll down here, as you can see this one here, which is what I mentioned earlier. So you get this sort of bar here, okay, and that means you can have your own videos if you want. You can have your own videos right here of actually any products that you want. And guys, let me just quickly introduce my sponsor for this video, by the way. If you click the link below, I've actually got a 2-month free trial to Sellerboard right here, which is an accurate profit analysis for Amazon sellers. And actually, not only does it do that, track your profit on a monthly basis, you actually get a lot of refunds for your list inventory. We actually get hundreds of pounds back a month from actually just requesting these lost inventory and lost shipments from Sellerboard. So I definitely recommend you try it out, or you can just check the demo account out just to see what I'm talking about here. But anyway, let's get back to the video. So these are the sponsored displays here, and you can actually find them in various places. Okay, if you look right at the bottom of this search, if you click on any random product here that isn't sponsored, we don't want to use up their budget. You'll also notice right at the bottom of this page there will also be, here we go, There is. There's some more products down here. And there's also some products down here. Where's the sponsored? I'm looking for the actual, and as you can see, similar brand selling on Amazon, and you've got more sponsored display there, which would be this one here, the sponsored display. Yeah, so you got 3 minimum products for the sponsored brands and the sponsored display, but the sponsored products is usually the one that you want to start with, and that is where you actually go ahead and start launching your products and the sponsored products, okay? But the A+ content is necessary to have your sponsored brands, etc., because then what they're actually going to do is click through to your shop afterwards, okay? So I hope that video's helped. Just gives you a quick rundown of the introduction to sponsored brand, sponsored products, sponsored brand, sponsored display. And in other videos, I'm going to be going over, or I have gone over, if you look back on the videos, depending on when you're watching this, of how to create your own campaigns, etc., and how to name them, how to set them up, how to organise them, etc. So I'll see you in the next video.